to welcome everybody. Jamie Thomas here from Wayapa HQ. I just said to Sarah I wouldn't do this with the chair, but guess what I started to do? Instead of turn it on, I'll stop it. What I want to talk about today is that a lot of people are celebrating, in the last 4 days anyway, the new year and what it actually means. We actually celebrate, so I suppose my pocket. We celebrate a new year based on a calendar which was invented by the Romans, which was taken from the Greeks. I think Julius Caesar was the last fella to, if my mind serves me correctly, to alter the calendar. It went from a 10-month to a 12-month period. And it really celebrates the 365 days, but their new year was about their politics. So we've all adopted that calendar in the last 2018 years, and it's been longer than that actually, but we celebrate it from a Christian perspective, so from the birth of Christ. So what does a new year mean for Indigenous peoples? What does it mean? We talk about seasons, and within the seasons of the year, how we celebrate those seasons, but we also talk about the cycles as well. So for me, as an Indigenous Australian, I think the celebration of a new year really, for me, begins after the winter solstice. So if you think about the sun and the sun's rotation, or our rotation around the sun, we actually go through a birthing, rebirthing, regrowth, new growth, old, new, and the sun cycles are the two equinoxes and the two solstices. So for me, a true new year is the day after the winter solstice. So the 22nd of June, 21st, 22nd of June is the shortest day of the year here in the Southern Hemisphere. And obviously in the Northern Hemisphere, it's you'd be going through winter now. So, for me, looking at what a new year is truly based on the cycles of the sun. So as it's one of the things that we're trying to do with Wayapa is to change the concept of how we've just become programmed into one particular style of beliefs. And this is not about knocking anyone's culture or creed or religion or race or anything like that, but it's about looking at earth perspectives which are ancient, which are very, 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 very old. And obviously before 1788 here in Australia, we never celebrated Christmas. So Christmas for Aboriginal people under the Christian context is only 240 years old per se. So what did we do before then? I think that I shot a video before what people normally call Christmas, but what we do is celebrate the summer solstice. So it is the longest day of the year. It's the time of abundance, it's the time of gathering, it's the time of ceremony, it's the time of corroborees, dances. And we've focused our foundation and the work that we do around that time of the year, which is only a day or two away from the birth of Christ anyway. So, we focus all our energy on the solstice and celebrating togetherness and celebrating, giving and sharing and celebration around that time of the year. So I guess when we talk about New Year for me here in the Southern Hemisphere is after the winter solstice. So it's when each day, and hopefully someone will be able to jump on the bottom of this and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's roughly about 6 seconds a day, I think it is, that we get more daylight. Now, it doesn't seem like much, but incrementally that's a lot. So, from after the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, every day after that, we're getting roughly 6 seconds more of sunlight in the sky. And then obviously incrementally it comes up to the equinox, which what we could often call spring, where that is the time of fertility, it's the time of birthing and trees and plants are blooming. And then after that, obviously the days continue to get longer. So from the winter solstice through to the equinox, where it's equal amount of daylight and equal amount of sunlight, nightlight. It's been a few weeks without a video. And so then it comes up to the summer solstice. So looking at how you can incorporate, celebrating the concepts of, religious or spiritual, looking at celebrations, but how we can put that into earth context and learning more about that and bringing the richness of that ancient knowledge back and having those celebrations. So just a little bit of food for thought. So what I'm going to be doing from now on in, now people can hold me to account for this, email in if I'm not doing it for some reason or another, but we're going to really try and put out some weekly videos. Every Tuesday have a short video that you can jump into. I'll try not to make them too long because I know people often, we say time poor, but it's about we're not really that, vested in that. But I'll try and keep my videos between 5 and 8 minutes. But if I feel a need for a longer yarn, I'll do a video, a vlog that you can chuck on a podcast or listen to it in your headphones on the train or on the beach or when you go for a walk. And talk about some content in a much greater scale. So we've got some ideas that we want to share with you about Wayapa, about connecting to the earth. But drop us some comments below. I haven't got a huge number of YouTube subscribers, so if you're out there, you're encouraging people to listen to some words of sharing. I was going to say wisdom then, but I'm trying to be a little bit humble. If you're listening to some words we can share together, it's about me passing on knowledge, Indigenous knowledge that I've learned from my elders to you guys. But we're really keen on hearing your thoughts about what's the content you'd like us to talk about. We've got videos on here about talking about Wayapa and talking about how we can, connect back to the earth, but also be responsible as custodians of the planet for generations to come. So feel free to drop us an email if you want to. Our website's wayapa.com and our email address is on that. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll talk soon. Budu.